So in this segment, we're going to be talking about Boris Johnson apparently making Edwin Poots some promises before before Edwin Poots had left office. I almost said Boris Johnson had left office. What a dream that would be, huh? So the UK government has promised that there will be a significant win on the Northern Ireland Protocol to outgoing DUP leader Edwin Poots. That's what Edwin Poots is claiming now. That could be related to some of the statements Sefcovic has made, talking about bold steps being taken. But the thing is, he hasn't actually offered specifics. So, again, we don't know what's going on with that. So that's an issue. But what we can tell is, for whatever reason, Boris Johnson has made promises to Edwin Poots, and we don't 100% know what those promises were, but he's promising some sort of changes to the Northern Ireland Protocol. It could be to kind of make Edwin Poots stand down a bit and be less, try and push the DUP to be less standoffish. But what I've seen from the new leader, I think his name is Jeffrey Donaldson, saying that he wants to unite the DUP against the Northern Ireland Protocol. So I'm not sure what Boris Johnson was planning at here. I genuinely don't. But then again, Boris Johnson probably didn't know either. Poots told BBC Northern Ireland that he had received assurances from Northern Ireland Secretary Brandon Lewis, who we'll be talking about in a couple of days, where he made a video denying the existence of the trade border within the Irish Sea, which is hilarious, saying, it depends how you define a border. Might as well said it depends what an ease is. Something that Bill Clinton kind of said in the 90s. Poots said, "We haven't got detail of the changes, but was told they would be very significant." So why, again, is Boris Johnson making promises to Edwin Poots? Very strange. No specifics offered here, so you could say this is a pointless video. Maybe. But it's odd that Boris Johnson has done this, especially given the rhetoric that Boris Johnson's government has pushed around the Northern Ireland Protocol. We know that the extension has been agreed regarding the chilled meat, so we'll be talking about that in a few days, hopefully. But again, very odd to make these sorts of promises. Poots is out, so this article is about a week old, I think, but forgive me for that. The Northern Ireland Protocol has been criticised by unionists because it had led to additional checks and delays on trade between Great Britain and Northern Ireland. The unionists are, very much against that. We all know this. Nothing off the table. This is about the government statements saying that some aspects of the protocol, such as restrictions on the movement of fresh sausages and chilled meats, have been mitigated by the so-called grace periods, which we know to be true. There are issues still getting them in with things like customs declarations, etc. But it's either doing customs declarations or an outright ban. We're going to be talking about this clown soon, so let's not forget that. The EU is considering this stuff has happened basically. The interesting point here is that the BBC understands that Tesco's and two other major supermarkets, maybe M&S, could be them, are now sourcing most of their sausages locally for sale in Northern Ireland. So that means they are looking at Northern Ireland to source the sausages, or they are looking at Ireland to source the sausages. I don't think they'd be looking at other EU nations because their tastes are slightly different. The spices they would use, the styles they would use. German sausages are, I think, very different to British ones. So, they are looking at trying to source as much stuff locally as possible, which is a good thing environmentally. It will push prices up, I think, because there'll be a lack of supply. But again, Brexit giving massive opportunities to Ireland, which is crazy, considering that it was meant to benefit the UK. Speaking after Mr. Poots made his comments about the promised significant changes, Mr. Lewis repeated his view that the government will do what it needs to do to manage the protocol. And this is something the government's line is, which is, we'll do Article 16, we'll suspend the protocol if we have to, blah, blah, blah. I don't think the government are going to do that because they will get hit with tariffs with a quickness. At least hopefully they will do. But, this is the government's line on this. If things have to happen, we'll make it happen. But he did not specifically address Mr. Poots' suggestion, which means that what Mr. Poots is saying is probably not going to happen. I can't see major changes happening. Otherwise, Brandon Lewis would have addressed those statements. So there's that. Brandon Lewis said he was conscious of challenges for consumers and businesses posed by the protocol, and that the government would not allow that to continue. So what does that mean? Are you looking at a Swiss-style alignment, or are you looking at suspending parts of the protocol, which again will create massive problems and huge repercussions for the UK? Or are you going to, just allow Ireland to reunify? these are possible options, and we don't know. They say nothing is off the table, but those are some extreme options I've just kind of laid out for you. Brandon Lewis says, we want to get this corrected. I mean, why'd you vote for it then if you want it to be corrected? Was it wrong in the first place when you voted for it? So that consumers and businesses can continue to function as a full and integral part of the UK. The thing is, you're the ones who separated out Northern Ireland from the rest of GB. That was on you. I mean, geographically speaking, that's already happened. That wasn't Brandon Lewis's fault. But we're talking, politically, in terms of nation states, that is partly Brandon Lewis's fault. Was he the one that said we're breaking international law in a very limited and specific way? I think that was him. That was funny. I got a good laugh out of that. I think everyone else did as well. But point being is that you're the ones who caused this problem, and the fact is businesses are looking at their own solutions now. They're not relying on the British government anymore because they know you men are useless. So what are they doing? They're looking at other avenues to get the stuff they want. Brandon Lewis going on to say, we take nothing off the table in that regard, but what we want to do is work this through the EU. And I don't know what Šefčovič is talking about here, because it's very odd that you would get kind of the two sides having similar phrasing on certain things. So again, we'll have a look at that when the time comes, when we see some specifics. I'll cover the video. I'll do a video on Šefčovič's statements, but yeah, that's not super important here. So John Campbell, some analysis from him, saying that, but the UK's Brexit Minister Lord Frost has said these negotiations have made little progress, talking about the negotiations they've had over the last few weeks regarding the Northern Ireland Protocol, which feels like they've been negotiating forever. But the thing is, the negotiations were over in 2019, so this is just tweaks, talking about tweaking the protocol in areas. It's not really a negotiation, is it? As many commenters have pointed out to me, it really isn't a negotiation, and they're right. The government has not ruled out using Article 16, which allows parts of the protocol to be temporarily suspended. Now, I haven't looked at the specifics of it, but I'll take his word for it. Outside views, he's a kind of German political commentator, said that Article 16 only works one way, which is goods going from NI to GB, I believe. Now, if I'm wrong about that, and he sees this video, whatever, and I'm wrong, I'll comment it and whatever. I'll put something in the comments, an amendment, but it doesn't work for goods going from GB to NI. It only works from goods going from NI to GB. You can use Article 16 in that regard, like someone in the EU Commission was planning on doing. So so that's not going to work either. But yeah, you can see the threats are still here from the British government. Edwin Poots did make some further interesting statements, saying Sir Geoffrey has warned that Northern Ireland's power-sharing executive could be at risk if the UK government fails to take decisive action over the protocol. So he's basically threatening the system, Stormont, the shared power system, which you're threatening democracy. Okay, fair enough, Sir Geoffrey, Knight of the Realm. On Tuesday, Mr. Poots said such threats would not work and have demonstrated failure in the past. So this is interesting because let's not forget, it wasn't that long ago, I think, that Stormont was actually shut down because of the political impasse within Northern Ireland. So if that does happen, then nothing was achieved by that really in terms of the DUP's goals. What happened? The Northern Ireland Protocol was implemented, and the Irish language law that the Sinn Féin wanted, I think that was pushed over the heads of the DUP. So shutting down Stormont isn't a good idea because people within Britain will just make the decisions on your behalf, which means that you've just taken yourself out of the equation. You are not a factor anymore. At least that's how I remember anyways. I could be wrong. So that's why Poots saying this kind of idea of shutting down Stormont isn't a good idea, because it won't work. It's just going to create you more problems. Poots explained how, as a young loyalist, what a sad life he's had, he attended street protests about the Anglo-Irish Agreement in the 1980s, but cautioned that it didn't make any difference whatsoever. So he's saying, the protests, the violence didn't lead to the solutions that these guys wanted. He said he hoped that when he hands over to the new leader at the end of June, that's Donaldson, I believe, work on the protocol will already be achieved. Well, we know that's not happened. He said, I can see we are actually making progress on making those arguments. I mean, I don't know what he's talking about here, because Lord Frost above was saying that there's been no progress made. So what does Poots know that we don't know? These are the questions I'm asking here. Edwin Poots clearly knows something that we don't. I think that's the end of the article that I wanted to cover. But what can we see here? Boris Johnson has made promises to Edwin Poots about major changes happening to the Northern Ireland Protocol. Maros Šefčovič has gone in front of the Stormont committee, in front of some MLAs, and said the EU are preparing to take bold steps on flexibilities around the Northern Ireland Protocol, so long as the UK is committed to implementing the protocol in full. So we have some kind of, I don't want to use this word, but alignment here. We have Boris Johnson saying major changes are coming. We've got Maros Sefcovic saying major changes are possibly coming depending on what the UK does next. So it's very interesting, I think, that something is happening here. We just don't know what. You know, the EU and Sefcovic are pushing a Swiss-style deal, Swiss-style veterinary agreement onto the UK. The UK don't want that. I mean, again, is that a possibility? I don't think so. But, you know, again, I use that phrase, you know, a lot. It's a filler phrase. But, again, it's very interesting to see what's going on here, that we have both sides, kind of one side, the EU promising potentially major changes could happen, and we've got the other side, the UK, promising to the DUP major changes could happen. So that tells me, I think major changes could happen. I don't know what specifically, but that's kind of the takeaway from the video, at least, you know, the article from my perspective. But, you know, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.